All right, let's figure out what we are doing here. I think this is where we're at. I believe this is where I was at. So, okay, let me get set up here because really, man, I just turned this on and went, dude. I wanted to get this started. And, oh man, having issues. Let's see, stick. Trying to figure out if I'm live or not. So give me a sec here to get this set up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, set up. Trying to figure out if I'm live or not. All right. So where was I? I know last week I was going through a lot of the. Is this? Yeah, I think this was where I left off. Okay, cool. Gonna have to figure out what. Let's see. So 5-7. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know where I'm at. All right. Cool. And this is it. So back to JFK stuff. Just kind of looking through some of the stuff. Oh shoot! Damn it! What just happened? There. Computer's going kind of crazy here. I don't know technology anymore. So 78, dude. Man, we're kind of a little ways away from the event, man. This one's 201 forms. 201. No, I don't think it is. Routing and record sheet. Return to CIA. Background use only. Do not reproduce. Except on presidential orders, I guess. Let's see. From Chief Plans Review Group, Central Cover Staff, whatever that means. House Select Committee on Assassinations. There's a House Select Committee on Assassinations. I hope that's just something they just create once when they need it. Hope that's not like a normal fucking thing. That'd be a little strange. Let's see. So January 78. Let's see memos. Okay, so let's see what the memos are. The memorandum supplements reference A and provides additional information for paragraph 6. Oh, I hate lawyer speak. Therein, in response to requests in reference B, CCS files contain information on individuals and entities cited in certain numbered items of reference. Oh my God, is this just like a fucking? Oh, jeez. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Order 5. George. I'm not even gonna try to do that name. I didn't realize Germans had that tough of names. 5 documents compromising 4 contact reports with a commercial asset who was in touch with subject regarding a business activity in Haiti, and 1 memorandum detailing the results of a trace request on subject. The dates of documents range from 25th of April to the 21st of March 1963. Okay. Why it took them? Well, I don't know if this was logged in 78 or whatever, or if this is like, I don't know. Like, I hope this information didn't start in 78. Like, they didn't fucking ask somebody on 78, hey, back in 1963 in March, you did something. That'd be stupid. Item 9, Leo Churn. 21 documents. Oh, no, okay, this is just archiving. All of which concern the establishment, maintenance, and use of cover provided by subject from 1954. 65 for an NOC officer signed to Paris. Additionally, CCS maintains a file on the Research Institute of America of which Leo Chern was executive director, comprising approximately 100 documents covering the period 1949-1964. Ms. Chern's name appears throughout the file. Item 17, William Harvey, approximately 50 documents, virtually all of which concern the establishment, maintenance, and use of cover for subject during his career with the agency as a staff employee from 47 to 67. Let's see, item 27, International Rescue Committee. 12 documents addressing agency non-use of IRC and FOIA requests. Whew. So they have documents requesting based off of FOIA requests. That's crazy. What's that? Do I got a damn hawk flying around me? I get shanked up in here. I'm 29. Richard Helms, approximately 25 documents, considering concerned primarily with TDY travel orders, cover documentation and clearance verifications. James Angleton, approximately 25 documents, concerned primarily with TDY travel orders, cover documentation and retirement process for subject who was a staff employee of the agency from 1947 to 74. Raymond Roca, approximately 25 documents, concerned primarily with cover matters pertaining to subject who was a staff employee. Item number 30, no record in CCS of correspondence or the communication on the matters identified involving whatever Helms, Angleton, and Roca. Item 36, Southern California, Jesus. Southern Research Corporation, no record in CCS. Wackenhut Corporation, 100 to 150 documents covering the period of 63 to 77 and concerning primarily contacts with Wackenhut officials. Let's see, memorandum. So far, you haven't told me shit. This memorandum supplements. Yeah, okay, don't care. It's the same stuff. Leo Chern, let's see, all of which concern the establishment, maintenance, and use of cover provided by subject from looks like 1940, 65 for NOC officer assignment, or is it maybe it's 1954? It's 1954, the O's wrong. Let's see. Don't care too much. It's all just regurgitation. Regurgitation, Angleton, Roca. Wait, is this all the same stuff? Let's see. Primarily, TDY travel order. Yeah, okay, we saw that. Cover documentation and retirement process for subject who was a staff employee in the agency, 47 to 74. So primarily with cover matters pertaining to subject who was a staff employee. Let's see. So California, let's see. Wackenhut, contacts with Wackenhut official. Wackenhut. So Wackenhut or Wackenhut. Nothing there. That's not exciting at all whatsoever. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay, Joseph Murphy. Let's see, May of 66. Robert Pugh. Seems to me we've seen that name before. But since I don't really take notes, I don't know what the fuck that is. Reference is made to your request dated January 66, wherein you requested a covert security approval to permit subject's use as first officer in the Far East under Project whatever. In accordance with the provision set forth in clandestine services instruction number or whatever, and clandestine services instruction field number. Yeah, covert security approval is granted for use of the subject as described in your request as set forth in paragraph 1 above. Oh my God, it's crazy how nebulous that could be. Subjects of covert security approval are not to represent themselves as, nor are they to be represented as employees of the CIA. Yeah, that's not nefarious at all. Let's see. Your attention is called to the fact that a covert security approval does not constitute complete compliance with the provisions of CIA regulations, whatever. Therefore, if you should desire at a later date to change status or use of this individual, request for the approval to cover any proposed change should be submitted to this office. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking red tape. This approval becomes invalid in the event the subject's services are not utilized within 6 months of the date of this memorandum. Okay. Return to CIA. Background use only. Do not reproduce. This is office reproductions. Destroy after use. Woo! Microfiche reproductions. Destroy. Okay, so they destroyed the original. They saved this to microfiche. Chief Executive Officer project. Okay, well, at least we're getting something on these things. Reference made to request dated January 66 for covert security approval to permit subject to use as a first officer in the Far East under project whatever. Concurrent with issuance of approval, the following is offered to your information. Investigations has recently been completed with generally favorable results. God, dude. How good are you at saying nothing when saying something? However, subject's military file indicated that he had been found unfit for duty due to excessive drinking and had been allowed to retire in the best interests of the Navy. His Navy record stated that this drinking problem adversely affected his judgment, reliability, and personal behavior. This weakness had been discussed to no avail with subject on several occasions. It should be noted that domestic inquiries developed no indication of overindulgence since his departure from the military in October 1964. Additionally, it was developed that subject's brother, Bartholomew, a.k.a. Bart Pugh, it's a pirate name, was the subject of an FBI investigation in 1941, which was conducted to resolve the allegations regarding the loyalty of the subject's brother. Subject's brother was determined to have been associated with known communists and was active in communist matters in the Los Angeles, California area during this time period. However, it was noted that these activities had caused a break with this individual and his family, who were not in sympathy with his viewpoints and activities. There was no information developed during the course of this investigation which indicated any association between subject and his brother. Dissemination of the above information should be limited to staff and project officials on a strict need-to-know basis. Don't know if I understand why, but okay. Chief of Station Taipei. Okay. Yeah, all these fucking weird. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Covert security approval was granted on May of 66. However, the following information is forwarded to your for your information. Investigation has recently been completed with generally favorable results. However, IDEN's military file indicated that he had been found unfit for duty. Yeah, we're reading the same thing. Let's see. Additionally, it was developed that his brother Bartholomew was the subject of an FBI investigation in 1941. Yeah, I read that, which was conducted to resolve allegations regarding the loyalty of his brother. His brother was determined to have been associated with known communists, active communist matters in Los Angeles, California, and during this period of time. However, it was noted that this activities had caused a break with this individual and his family, who were not in sympathy with his viewpoints and activities. There's no information developed during the course of this investigation which indicated any association between this guy and his brother. Dissemination of the above information should be limited to staff and project officials on a strict need-to-know basis. Let's see, a covert security approval was granted. Okay. on May of 1966. However, following your information is forwarded for your information. Investigation has recently been completed. Generally, people, dude, how many times you gotta say the same fucking thing? May as well just fucking put the same file and just like put it 100 times and say, "There's your JFK files, man." It's ridiculous. Mr. Robert West Pugh. Okay, let's do a Google search on that. Shit, wind's picking up. Robert Pugh is an actor. The same guy is an actor. He's been in some shit that I've seen too. Robert West Pugh. No way. Is this them getting into Hollywood? Former vice president of operations of Aqua, Ohio. Former manager at West Travis County Public Utility Agency. Lieutenant Robert, yeah, okay, Pugh. So, naval aviator in 1945. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1940. Let's see what else says about him. Here, I may as well put this as the page. Okay. Let's see. So, ensign, U.S. Navy, was designated naval aviator. So, this has got to be him, right? The Navy. Had enlisted the U.S. Navy 1940 and accepted a commission upon being designated as a NA, whatever, after serving naval aviator. After serving as an enlisted naval aviation pilot, retired with the rank of lieutenant in 1964. Passed away at Oak Knoll Naval Hospital following an illness, survived by his wife, son, 2 daughters, a brother, which is the one they're wondering about, and 1 granddaughter. Okay. All right. So this must be the guy. It's not the actor. Because the actor's still alive. Let's see. Then it's got a link to the archives, which is what we're looking at right now. Yeah, it's a lot of. There's another Robert Pugh, though, that it keeps spitting out. Let's see, Robert Pugh, family history records. Yeah, then it's ancestry. It's going to want me to make an account. Shit. I ain't doing that. So let's see. What do we got? Taipei, Taiwan. This letter will confirm acceptance of your resignation effective 1966. He didn't resign in 66. He didn't resign in 66. What the fuck? I don't think. Let's see. He retired with the rank of lieutenant in 1964. We have a breakdown here somewhere. This letter will accept it at the close of business. A final paycheck representing any unpaid salary due to you less any debts you may have on the company books will be forwarded to your Bank of America. You've given us your forwarding address as he's in Santa Rosa. Thank you for your past service and wish you success in the future. Director of Personnel, I guess for the Navy. Resigned effective 27th of September 1966. So his obituary is wrong. His obituary is wrong. His obituary states he retired in 64. What if they had him all covert and shit? 64, 66. He wished to quit flying and go home. He just said, I'm done. That's great. Let's see. So this is what JB Greed or whatever Project JB Greed. Robert West Pugh. Uh, they don't know his date of birth. They probably just didn't want to look it up, dude, because they could have figured that out. He's in the military, for Christ's sake. Subject has resigned his employment with HBILKA. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Can't make sense of that. Sir Jack Clark. Let's see. Chief Investigation and Support Division, Office of Security. Provisional covert security approval. So he must have went covert in 64. And that's why they got his resignation date as 64, I'm guessing, on his obituary. Covert security approval. Okay. That's all we got there. I don't know who he is, though. Like, what the fuck is the point in this guy? Oswald. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Oops. Shit. I just killed that page. Hold on. All right, here we go. Oswald. Not sure what Nasruko is, but okay. On 26th July, with Roca, called to my attention. I have no idea what they're saying here. With attention, something, a piece of Noswelco? I don't know. Information which would be. Oh my God, I can't read this. It's not even written that badly. Damn it. I came from a generation where we learned to write in this cursive shit. Is that presumably required? I don't know. When we attempted to assess someone's story about the Oswald case. Roca has been reading all the latest something, and it is his first impression, or his impression. There are something gaps in the info from the standpoint oh God, I can't read this. Okay, whatever. No, plus some aspects which don't ring true. Okay, so I guess just take it that he's doubting the story about Oswald. Recently, Roca received from British information about the activities of, is that Trina Shurakova, who has been in the I don't know what that's supposed to be, in touch with a British controlled source, a something clerk judged to be reliable. This is Roca's impression. I have some or I have notes obtained This case, I don't know. I have no idea what these people are trying to write here. That the Soviets have contrived to try to make Shirkova look clean, i.e., she has. Is that not? Jeez, man, this writing's terrible. Had a KGB note role, had a KGB role, and is only a the tourist. Looks like some before tourist, but interpreter to survive ends thesis. This is let's see, questionable on its surface about any hate. Roll? Maybe it's roll. Could be roll, dude. That's an N, dude. That's not an R, but whatever. The British sorcerer, and Sharkova visited the House Tussaud's waxworks. God cares. Where Sharkova had a visible reaction when seeing Oswald display. Okay, yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people have reaction when they see that shit. I didn't even know Oswald was in the wax museum, dude. I've been there. Whatever this reason was, entire. Oh God, I can't read this. Was occur on the something of, i.e., it was not done deliberate. Shirkova's reaction indicated suspicion. Yeah, as ours look like ends. Indicated suspicion that this was a provocation. So, someone took this broad to the Wax Museum in Hollywood, because Madame Tussauds, I believe they're talking about the Hollywood one. Yeah, well, I mean, I've written in cursive a couple times too, but not like this. This is ridiculous. Like I said, we're from the generation that actually had to write this stuff, man. I don't think they do this anymore, but this is ridiculous. I can't read this guy's fucking writing. This guy's writing is stupid. And then he goes back and forth between cursive and non, whatever. Sounds like they're saying that whoever this Sharkova person is, which we could probably, let me look that up real quick. Excuse me. Which is probably going to come up with a million Sharkovas. Let's see. Anastasia Sharkova. Let's see. Some athlete from Belarus. Yeah, it's coming up with all kinds of stuff. People that are modern day too, so that's not going to help me. All right, so it sounds like somebody brought her to the Oswald display just to fuck with her head and see what her reaction was, because at the end here they're saying indicated suspicion that this was a provocation. So to provoke a response, they took her to see a wax version of Oswald, just see if she'd trip out. But again, I don't think that was the name of his wife. I'm pretty sure that's not his wife. So I don't know who the fuck this Sharkova person is. So I have no context whatsoever. I have to go watch the movie JFK again, man, see if they have it. But I don't know, man. I haven't watched that in ages. Let's see, February 1975. Request from Mr. Ober for basic documentation circa mid 1967. Subsequent to his second appearance before the Rockefeller Commission on February 3rd of February 1975, Mr. Ober returned to headquarters the afternoon of 6th February and the morning of 7th of February to continue his review of the files he had developed while chief CISO at the request of the commission. He was particularly interested in locating documentation which supported the creation of the Special Counterintelligence Operation. He had previously taken note of the 15th of August 1967 memorandum from the DDP to CECI, but was interested in determining whether there was any other documentation that could be used. In this context, I showed him the following list of documents which I had unearthed in various and sundry places. That's a good way of wording it. Let's see. So, tab A, 4th of August 1967 memorandum from Mr. Fred Vinson Jr., Assistant Attorney General, Criminal Division, Department of Justice, to the Director of Central Intelligence. The Director's response to tab A, tab C. 67 book message originated in White House Division to response tab A. Memorandum from Mr. Bro, I think WH is White House, to Mr. Houston, General Counsel, detailing action taken to respond to the 4th of August letter of Mr. Winston. Let's see, tab E. Oh my God, dude. Just tell me what it fucking says. Relay to Director. This fucking wind's killing me. Saying essentially the same message to Director to additional European stations, specifically Copenhagen, Helsinki, Oslo, and Stockholm. 11 August 67 to Copenhagen, Helsinki, Oslo, Stockholm, asking for cabled replies to Director. Let's see, bearing on Director. September 67 memorandum from Walter Yeagley, Assistant Attorney General, Internal Security Division, Department of Justice, Mr. Lawrence Houston, General Counsel, CIA. September 1967 memorandum from the General Counsel to the Director of Current Intelligence, subject Stokely Carmichael. Memorandum from J. Walter Yeagley to Mr. Lawrence Houston. Let's see, tabs 1 through M, or I through M, were located in a file held by the Office of General Counsel entitled Stokely Carmichael. The original letter to Mr. Helms and his reply were located in a file held by C, I'm guessing that's White House Division, as copy of the memorandum from Mr. Bro to Mr. Houston. Mr. Bro, what a cool name that would be. The cables were located in, various. I mean, these keep coming up. MH Alpha, MH Pasha, all these weird fucking. In the OGC file, subject Stokely Carmichael, there is a series of memoranda from DDI to Mr. Houston, which is obviously in reply to Department of Justice request for information on Stokely Carmichael and his travels to Europe and Africa in the fall of 1967. Mr. Houston obviously served as the point of relay for these memoranda to the Department of Justice. Mr. Ober's second request was to try to locate documentation from either the President or the White House to Director in mid to late October 67, wherein the President asked the Director to prepare a study on international connections with the United States peace movement. That's fucking weird. October 67, memorandum for the record prepared by Mr. Ober details a meeting held by CI staff wherein, so I'm guessing that's what Central Intelligence states that the President has directed such a study be made. Indicates CI staff will be the DDP unit responsible for providing DDP information to the DDI, which will be charged with writing the study. I'm not even sure what half of this stuff means. I mean, Department of Defense? I don't know. November 67 memorandum for the record written by Mr. Ober details first meeting between DDI and DDP on the subject of this study. Mr. Ober represented the DDP while Mr. Godfrey, director of OCI, Mr. Lehman, Mr. Peter Dixon Davis represented the DDI. Ms. Davis was Mr. Davis, was designated as director. A third memorandum of the record, prepared by Mr. Ober, 1967, entitled Progress Report, details action which he had taken at the request of Mr. Angleton to set in motion the necessary actions to collect information not only from DDP overseas stations, but from other government agencies, which would be necessary in order for DDI to properly prepare a study. Okay, director, whatever. And that's why they don't have to. That's why they don't have to redact this stuff, man, because they just put numbers on them. Let's see, dated 2nd of November 1967, sent from Assistant DDP, Mr. Cord Meyer, slugged Rybat MH Pasha, levied the requirements on all field stations to produce information which could contribute to the study. Let's see, I was unable to locate any document from the president or the White House in records, and finally contacted Mr. Dixon Davidson OCI. He stated that DDI has also searched its records looking for the memorandum from the White House requesting a study, but had been unable to locate one. He did, however, have a copy of two memoranda, apparently prepared as cover sheets to transmit and the finished study to the president on the 15th November 1967. Xerox copies of these two memoranda are attached as tabs N and O. Okay, so just out of curiosity. Okay, so this is Johnson. All right, so this is Johnson, the Johnson era. All right. Let's see, 10. Mr. Ober was specifically desirous of taking copies of tabs N through O with him to use in the next appearance before the Rockefeller Commission. He recognized that under the current ground rules, he had to clear this with Mr. Noach. I arranged for Mr. Noach to call Mr. Ober. As a result of the serious conversation between Noach and Ober, Mr. White and Mr. Noach, and myself, and Mr. Noach authorized Mr. Ober to take copies of tabs N through O as reference material. I asked Mr. Ober could show these to the Rockefeller Commission, but he was not authorized to leave these papers with the commission. He was told to advise the commission that if they wanted copies, they would have to request same through Mr. Noach. At the request of Mr. Noach, I am making available a copy of this memorandum to the... Okay, dude. Like, really? Say something without saying something. It's like, what the fuck? This tells you nothing. Oh, we did a study. President told us to do a study, so we did a study. That's all that said. And with no context and no really prior knowledge, because I don't really have a lot of prior knowledge of this Kennedy stuff, man. I didn't really look into this stuff till now. It's really hard to figure out what the hell any of this means, any context, anything like that. As stated in reference attached to for passage to Union, which is another thing that keeps coming up, are two copies, a report on Antonic Rodriguez. Yeah, okay. The original of this report was given to Union 11 in February of 1962. Last paragraph of the attachment contains our request for the results of the briefing of subject. So this is from Paris, or the chief of station in Paris. Let's see. A report on Antonio Rodriguez. Yeah, I don't know what that last name is. Was born in Cuba on 17th of August, 1913. He's a master's degree in agriculture, professedly has no religion, but is a Mason. Woo, there we go. Mason's getting involved. Rodriguez is married to Edith Jones, who was born in Cuba on 10th of March, 1917. She is, however, of Haitian origins, being the daughter of a former Haitian ambassador to Belgium. Wow, Haiti has an ambassador to Belgium. That's crazy. And she is a devout Episcopalian. Let's see. Wait. Okay, yeah, it said he had no. Yeah, okay. The couple is known to have three children: a son who was last reported to be in Havana, Cuba; a daughter married to a man of German birth who was employed in the Castro Land Reform Organization until his departure for Germany in December 1961; and a son, Antonio Rodriguez Jones, born 24th of August 1943 in Havana, who was studying at whatever that is in Washington, D.C. in 1961. His son has been reported to be anti-U.S. What the fuck, dude? Like, so their son was going to school in Washington, D.C., but was an anti-U.S. guy. What the fuck, man? We've had these problems this long, and to have requested permissions of his father to go to Cuba or to another socialist country to continue his education. Good. Yeah, do that. Get him the fuck out of here. Antonio Rodriguez Jones resided in Washington, D.C. with Yvonne Jones, his aunt and sister of his wife of Antonio Rodriguez, whatever. Miss Jones was born in 1910 in Antwerp, Belgium. His aunt and sister of the wife. His aunt and sister of the wife. Okay. Miss Jones was born. So his aunt was born in Antwerp, Belgium. Wow. Okay. She was unmarried and was secretary at the Pan American Health Organization. Yeah, that's not nefarious at all. She became a U.S. citizen in 1959. Since the Castro regime has come to power, Ms. Jones is said to have spoken quite openly for Castro and against the U.S. government. And you're living in Washington, D.C. What the fuck, man? Why do you fucking come to a country you hate, dude? Why do you come and live in a country you hate? I don't fucking get it. Rodriguez lived in Haiti for about 18 years prior to the commencement of his diplomatic career, having been barred by, is it the Batista government, from returning to Cuba. He became a Haitian citizen and was the owner of Port-au-Prince meat market called, whatever. When Castro assumed power in Cuba, Rodriguez took over the Cuban embassy in Port-au-Prince in January 1959 after the Batista-appointed official had fled to the Dominican Republic. Soon thereafter, he was named ambassador to Haiti. Following his appointment to the diplomatic post, Rodriguez continues to maintain contact with persons in opposition to President Duvalier in Haiti, I'm guessing. In late July 1959, Haiti was invaded by a small group of Cubans, supposedly as a prelude to an invasion of the neighboring Dominican Republic. Huh. There's a lot going on here. The incursion was successfully repelled by the Haitian government, which publicly charged Rodriguez with complicity in the raid. Rodriguez then closed the Cuban embassy and returned to Cuba after selling his private property in Haiti. Wow. These people, fuck, man. You're going to places you hate. Why do you fucking stay in places you hate? While Rodriguez was still in Haiti, 2 attempts were made on his life. He accused the Trujillo regime in Dominican Republic and indirectly the Haitian government of complicity in these attacks. In November 1959, Rodriguez went to Guatemala as Cuban ambassador. There, he appears to have associated freely with pro-communist groups. In March 1960, he was requested by the Guatemalan government to leave the country on the grounds that he was engaging in activities in whatever against. I think that means against the best interests of Guatemala. So this fucking asshole was working for a small group of Cubans. So I don't know if that means, because it's saying that he was kicked out by the regime that was kicked out by Castro, I believe. So then he got appointed to. Then he got appointed. Following his appointment, diplomatic, but Rodriguez continued to maintain contact with persons in opposition to President Duvalier in Haiti. So then he went to Haiti. He was living in America. I think America was after, right? Did he go to America after, or did he go to America before this? But it sounds like he went to Haiti, stirred up a bunch of shit, tried to take over parts of fucking Haiti, had a house over there. They even let him sell the house, man, after he freaking tried to oppose a coup in Haiti. Fucking crazy. And then he went to Guatemala, and then Guatemala said, "Get the fuck out of here," because he was starting shit in Guatemala. So this guy's just a rebel rouser for the it's like Castro regime. Yeah, Cuban ambassador. So yeah, what the fuck, man? So Castro wasn't a good guy, man. Castro was running around trying to fuck up other countries, turn them communist, I guess. In November 1960, Rodriguez reported to Karachi, Pakistan. Oh, great. Yeah, it's going to go real well trying to stir up shit there. As Cuban ambassador, his wife accompanied him there and served as his chief secretary. During the initial months of his tour there, his closest relation in the diplomatic colony were with officials of the Belgian embassy. Presumably as a result of the fact that Belgium had represented Cuba when there was no Cuban representative in Karachi. During 1961, however, his social contacts were almost exclusively with Soviet satellite and Chinese communist diplomatic personnel. Okay. I don't think this is going to end well for this guy. In late 61, when Rodriguez apparently had decided to defect, he confided to an acquaintance in the diplomatic colony that he was finished with politics and wanted to devote the rest of his life to agriculture. He had at the time to go to the Dominican Republic or to another unspecified South American nation. At the time of his departure from Karachi by Air Force, by air, it says for Germany in early 1962. Rodriguez reportedly made only a very limited statement at the airport regarding his defection. The event apparently received very little, if any, press notice in Pakistan. Wow. Okay. Insufficient information exists at present to permit a determination as the genuineness of Rodriguez's disaffection with the Castro regime. For reasons which have not yet been fully reported, the Department of State denied visa to Rodriguez, apparently after he had made the decision to resign his post in Pakistan. We understand, however, that following his arrival in France in January 1962, he received permission from the French authorities to travel to and reside in Martinique. It appeared that he left France in January of 1962 en route to Martinique. This service would appreciate having the result of any debriefing of Rodriguez by French authorities, with particular reference to the reasons for his resignation and his plans for the future. Okay. That guy sounds like a fucking winner. Oh, this looks like this is going to be completely pointless. Malone and Ward. Okay. Just a bunch of fucking names. It's like code names. Philip was you can't even read any of this stuff. All aliases and whatever. So, okay. So, what are you going to tell us about these people, if anything? Probably nothing. Crypt request from Leslie. Okay, so somebody's just requesting, I guess, the name of agents. Looks like. So, anything you recognize here? AM brush. I think we've seen that a few times already. I don't know. Or if the AM means like American or something. So, Jim Peckich, true name, Office of Security. Yep, not going to get anything out of that. This is 77 pages. Holy shit! What? Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, crossing shit out is very creepy. Hopefully, it doesn't mean the same thing it meant on the streets. Let's see. To fill a name, Roselli. Okay. Didn't tell us much. All pseudos and aliases of. Looks like something DOA. That's not good. Let's see. No record. No record. Kingsman, Norman Richard. Let's see. Yeah, no, this is saying anything. Old crypt for International Organization Division. So it's telling you what the BG actress is. Let's see. Oh, so I wonder if these are their the names they were using. They're in whatever foreign country this is from. Richard Rastetter turned into Elmo Langtree. I can see why they wouldn't want stuff like this getting out. That would make sense to me. Especially these people are doing other things that might have pissed off governments. Wow. Cross all this shit out. Yeah, not too sure about that. Dead. Whew. There's a couple agents that didn't make it. Looks like. Yeah. Pseudonym. There's that Roselli. Let's see. Request for Cuba desk crypts by House Select Committee on Assassinations. Let's see. CI staff asked to provide the identity of the following crypts and pseudos in response to a request from HSCA. In responding, I asked the CI staff to please let us know in advance for any such future requests from HCSA relating to Cuba and Cuban operations. Amir, I assume this is Amir one, who is cigar. Check with Venezuela branch. The CIA digraph was assigned to that area. Oh, okay. Foreign intelligence staff. Let's see. AM Patrol. We have a AM Patrol 1. Jose Antonio Gomez Perez. Wow, these are the names of agents. That's crazy. Let's see. Traficante. There's no doubt is a Traficante. Okay. There's no doubt a mafia figure. True name Santos Traficante. Yeah. Bernard Barker. Okay. Let's see. Jesus Esposito Lorenz. Man, there's so much cross-referencing that have to be done here because they've talked about a lot of these. Checo's Venezuela desk. Digraph was assigned to that desk. There's no doubt it's a mafia type. Johnny Roselli. Am Chirp, which number? There are several. Am Palm, Angel Fernandez, Joaquin, Hugh Mail, which number? There are several. Check with appropriate area. Desk assigned digraph, Costa Rica. HU is Costa Rica. Okay. So CI is Venezuela. HU is Costa Rica. QD. Okay. Galbon pseudonym. This was Oliver G. Galbon, pseudo for former Colonel J. Caldwell King, deceased. BG actress, IO division. John Meigs. Let's see. Several of those. They didn't like that. Guillermo Alonso, whatever. These names mean shit to me. So all the AM stuff, which we run through a lot of the AM stuff earlier, looks like that's probably South or Central America, just by the names they have. Como Circuit, communist. Is that communist? Need more information. No record. Samuel Orson. Yeah. Olean. Above list constitutes those passed to Chris Hopkins and Bill whatever by the CI staff. Okay. Oh God, is this the written fucking part of it? Asset deceased. Retired. Cuban Intel Service. Jose Ricardo or Richards. Ravel. Nunez. Believe still in Cuba. David Paddock. David Paddock. Huh. That's a name I've heard before, even though it's not spelled the same. Let's see. Yeah, there are Paddocks with the A instead of the O. Let's see. Simon David Paddock. So that was 1811, though. Let's see. Sir U.S. Army, but that's 61. Paddock is leaving his role as president of Jet Aviation in April to become president. Sister company, General Dynamics, Land Systems. Huh. Okay. Hold on a sec. I wanna screenshot this. And let's cut this thing down a little bit. Ah, shit, I gotta let me do it like this. Yeah, whatever. Figure it out later. David Paddock. So there was a Paddock, but spelled differently. So it could be something different. But it's in the Kennedy files. Let's see. I mean, at this time frame, let's see, what was Benji doing? I believe he went to prison 61, 63, if I remember right. If I remember right, wait, he went to prison again for 7 years. So from 60, what was it, 62 to 69? I think he was in prison. Or was it 61 to 68? Might have been, yeah, it was 61 to 68, I believe, went to prison. And then came out suddenly after walking out of a prison in Arizona. Ended up opening up his bingo parlors in Portland after that. President John F. Kennedy, Canada espionage involving Soviet intelligence services. Herbert, Soviet embassy, house adjacent to embassy backyard. Ramon Joseph Alvarez Durant. Secret Service within the Department of Treasury, keeping operations, Robert Tyler Shaw. There's a couple Phillips, liaison, former Mexican president. God, what the hell is this list? Some heavy names on this list, man. MRR Revolutionary. MRR Revolutionary Movement. Wonder what that stands for. Overall, Cuban operations, Ricardo Rafael. Yeah, okay. And then we got redactions, right? We got 3 lines redacted here. Looks like, unless they just didn't need the last 3 lines there. So it looks like it might not be redacted. I don't know. Lloyd Desmond. Yeah, that's redacted. It looks like. Bernard Reichart. Yeah, well, I guess that'd be. I mean, these are just notes. Like, these are notes somebody wrote. So it's like there's no context to them. They're just fucking notes somebody wrote. But it looks like they're asking information on all these pseudonyms that were used. Bernard Reichart. Let's see. Amok. Giuseppe. Oh, that's not a mafia guy. Or if I'm just being judgmental. Walter Donnelly. Carrillo, no record. Let's see. Yeah. Not recognizing any of these. Let's see. Dan Hardaway. Memorandum call. True names for pseudos need. Okay. Blank page. Oh no. There's some stuff. Oh my god, yeah, this is somebody's crappy notes. Somebody's crappy notes that were like probably scraped off a desk. Oh my god. There's 77 pages of this nonsense. At least he writes well. We can kind of read this stuff. Doesn't mean much, but yeah, can we kind of read it? Yeah, it's all the names of the agents that are in the field. That's crazy. I can see why they didn't want this getting out. I mean, it makes sense. These are actual legit names, dude. So, I guess they're not really redacting much. Am Cigar, we've seen that before. Okay, that doesn't look redacted. It looks like it just didn't finish filling out the information they were looking for there. Let's see, no project. Okay, so I'm guessing you can probably cross-reference these to some of the other lists. Who knows which list though? Off security, Louis Conte. Let's see, William Carr, something Davis, Keith McPhee. Let's see. And Patrols Project, Scar, all this stuff. They did a pretty good job by naming projects after with the same pseudonyms they use on people. So you may have something called AM Cigar that'll be, a person. Then you have some other project called AM something else that'll actually be like one of their projects, AM Patrol. So it's interesting. Guess a good way of doing it. Let's see. Please fill in first names and initials. Okay, so yeah, these are the names of people that were out there doing this. Do not need true name, only complete pseudo. Most of these may be pseudos. If so, okay. Looks like they're just trying to figure out who people are. Let's see. Deputy Navy, New Crypt, LN Tuck. Not locks. Possible crypt for whatever. Let's see. No record. Possible crypt for LA. Jamnet. I don't recognize any names. Let's see. This is part of his pseudonym, not a digraph. What they call those digraphs? Am Bleak. Seems to be we've seen that before too. Antonio Ruiz. Let's see. Frente Revolucionario Democrático Executive Committee. That's AM Port. Oswald Rodriguez. Nope, not same Oswald. Let's see. Employee. Oh, they did redact that. Like, oh, hell no, you ain't getting this one. Let's see. Retired. Staff employee retired. Intel section of FRD. Oh, and Brush. Yeah, we've seen that before. Intel section of FRD. What is that? Is that French? Yeah, it could be anything, right? It could be Republica Democratico or some shit like that, or some weird shit. Let's see. Mercedes Morticia Moria of Los Angeles. Comdina, whatever. Yeah, you'd have to cross-reference the fuck out of this stuff, man. It's be a lot of work. Let's see, Antonio's. But it looks like most of this is South Central America by the names. It's a lot of Hispanic names. I mean, it could be Cuban too, I guess. Cubans have Hispanic names. Cardona. I wonder if they're just checking these because they're once they figure out who they are, they just checklist them or check mark them. Jim Pickage. There's that name again. JMNet. Yeah, these are all names. Yeah, I don't know. There's gonna be bound to be some stuff blacked out on this, I think. And redactions and stuff like that. I mean, I think some of the redactions probably came out of like 1974 because I think some of these came out back in 1974. They probably redacted a bunch of stuff back in those days. I mean, I get it. Some of it has to be redacted. I mean, it sounds like some of these people are doing some really shady shit. So, I mean, we got other governments involved and stuff like that in this. So, you know, unsnafu, UN snafu. That's funny. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of names. I said this is like somebody's list of notes or something off their desk or something like that. Forward radio network. Let's see. DRE, man. Oh, that's funny. A number. Yeah, like, oof. I have to print all these out and do some stuff like that if you really want to get into this. But I don't know if I'm that motivated to get crazy into this. But this is like I said, it looks like somebody's notes. Somebody, I don't know if it's FBI, CIA, what it is, but they wanted to figure out what all these acronyms are for and about, where they got the acronyms. There's no, and I think this started with France, didn't it? The cover sheet wasn't it France? Um, but yeah, they're trying to figure out what all these pseudonyms are, and I mean, there's a fucking shit ton of these. Like I said, these look like somebody's notes. A lot of this does not look like official forms. It's like something you just pick up off somebody's desk. Let's see, State Department, Conover Mass Publications Inc., Deputy Director for Plans, whatever. Persons traveling legally or planning travel to USSR. Foreign Liaison Service, Contract Agent, Legal Traveling. Oh my god, I can't read any of this shit. Oh, it's all that stuff. So this AE Ocean is a big one. Um, something spent living in Stockholm, attending J Moscow Youth Festival. Okay, whatever. I mean, what this got to do with the Kennedy assassination? I have no fucking idea. Director for Plans, Clandestine Services. Let's see, info indicator for Soviet, East European Division. Okay. So EE Ocean, doesn't say much there. Let's see. So wait, what was KU? For Plans, Clandestine Services. Okay, so KU Dub, that's, I guess, what that is. All aliases are pseudonyms of David Atlee Phillips. Okay. David Paddock. That name came up again. So let's get another picture. Just out of curiosity. I don't think that means anything. I think this is a different dude. But yeah, I'm curious. We got a guy in that Discord that's been doing some work, so go shuttle it off to him maybe. Let's see, Betsy Palmer. Is she an asset? They're asking if she's an asset. Palmer, fax, CIA. Redwood. That's yeah. That was, I believe, the operation where they went and tried to take Cuba. if I remember right. The director. Let's see. FBI. Dude, man, come on. Come on, man. Get your shit together, man. This guy had an appointment 3:45. Let's see. Epstein. Even though, yeah, I don't think Epstein was a thing back then, but Epstein's name's on here. Yeah, Epstein's name's in there. Was it? Yeah, it's got an extension for an Epstein. That's interesting. I'm sure there are other Epsteins out there. I'm sure it's not a uncommon name, but that's interesting. Oh, the Marilyn Monroe stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there might be some of that in here. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say because I don't think she was involved in the any of this stuff. But what they investigated with her, who knows? Jack Malone, deceased asset. Michael Malone's Jack Malone. He's dead now. Cuban Intel Service. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's someone who works for the FBI, CIA, Bureau of Narcotics, um, CIA, whatever that is. CIA is, okay, that one. And that looked like just a little post-it note. John Dimmer retired. Okay, that's good. He got out of there. Jose Ricardo or Richards. Nah, it looks like Richards. Nunez. I believe still in Cuba. Jose Marie Andre Markle. Washington, D.C. Asset deceased. Cuban Intel Service. I think a lot of this is there's David Paddock again. Huh. All pseudonyms. Let's see. Oscar, yeah, whatever. The all aliases pseudonym used by David Atlee Phillips, Michael King. ID of Malone. Okay. That dude's dead, they said. Colonel. Let's see. Sign Wilson Davis. James Earl Ray. James Earl Ray. I mean, it's an actor. Wait a sec. Oh no, am I wrong? An American fugitive who's convicted of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, duh. That's why I'm thinking of that fucking name. All right. Service King James Earl Ray on this. Or above employees, agents, or informants. Ooh, they ain't gonna tell you that. You ain't getting that answer. Let's see, James Earl Ray. Well, what number was he on this? H. Let's see if we get an answer here. I don't know those people. H. Uh, Shaw, before passing identities to, please advise Scott, I am concerned with NSCA trying to contrast former assets without our knowledge. Ooh, that sounds like a devious fucking thing. Confidential. Psychological, paramilitary staff. Let's see. Our team project, Jack Stewart, retired, deceased staff employees, David Morales, Delia, uh, Frilly, Robert F. Kennedy. Let's see. Political action, propaganda against Cuba, Urban Aragon, Ernesto Urban, whatever. Warning notice: sensitive intelligence sources and methods involved. Yeah, you're investigating Robert Kennedy, for Christ's sake. Okay. All right. Let's see. Kubark. There's Kubark. We ran into that quite a bit. I forget what that was. There was I think we had an explanation for that in one of the other ones. Psychological and, right. So let's see if this is cross references in any way. And then soda one, I think we had one for that. Overall operation for Cuba, something project, Jackster. So how many of these are there? There's 11 of these. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, okay. We might be able to figure out what Kubark is. Former staff employee, American ship owner. American ship owner. Who's that? One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, it's a fucking weird ass pseudonym. So Robert F. Kennedy. What is Robert F. Kennedy? He was LI Tamil 7. Am I doing that right? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. All right. If this is legitimate, but it's hard to say. Cuban asset, political action, propaganda against Cuba is what Cubark was. So that sounds legit. Yeah, it sounds legit. Okay. Propaganda against Cuba. Huh. Let's see. The same thing. Okay, well, know what Cubark is, I guess. So it seems like some propaganda against Cuba, but that was actually in some of the earlier stuff. All right, well, that's it for that, man. Yeah, this is hard reading, man. It's really hard reading. It's not all nice and typed out like this. Let's see, from Plans and Review Group, Central Cover Staff, House Select Committee on Assassinations. A response request from reference, CCS files contain information on whatever that guy's name is, a pseudonym officially assigned to Hedda Massing, U.S. citizen, born January 1900, who was an agency contract agent from 1956 until her retirement in 1975. The information is contained in approximately 60 documents, virtually all of which concern the establishment and maintenance of cover. Huh. So I had a female agent, which I think in 1900 Um, let's see. So, sorry, I'm looking something up here. Um, okay, so it's not what I thought it was. So 1900s, women still weren't allowed in, I think, the military, or am I wrong? In 1900, um, she was an agency contract agent from 56 till her retirement in 75. But I would think, starting an agency contract at 19 and at 56 years old seems a little old for me, to me. No. I don't know about that. All right, so let's do this. Response request reference CSS files, whatever. Mr. G. Stanley Brown. 4 documents contain references to Verna Dean Stebbins Brown, Oklahoma, wife of George Stanley Brown, in Oklahoma, an agency employee from 52 to 62, David Murphy. Approximately 100 documents concerning primarily the establishment, maintenance, and use of cover for subject during his agency career as staff employee from April 48 to 75. Grayson Lynch, approximately 60 documents concerning his establishment, maintenance, and use of cover for a subject during his agency career, 61 to 71. Robert Moore, approximately 50 documents containing Robert Butler Moore, 1913 in Mississippi, an agency staff employee from 1950 to 59. Oh no, it looks like 79. The documents concern primarily the establishment, maintenance, and use of cover. Subject during agency career, among other assignments. Subject served in Miami, Florida, from 61. Looks like upon retirement in 1970. Subject gave as his forwarding address following in Maryland. Yeah, that's not sus at all, dude. Your forwarding address is in fucking Maryland. You're working in Florida. In connection with the HSCA's desire to interview subject, if he is identical to that subject at reference request, CCS files indicate that subject retired in covert status. Should be advised that subject's agency affiliation remains classified information requiring protection. CCS files also contain approximately 23 documents on a Robert T. Moore Jr., born in 1937 in Woodland, California, who was an agency staff employee from September 62 to 72. Billy Logray, approximately 25 documents concerning William John Logray, born at 42 in Chicago, Illinois, an agency employee from October 67 to 72. These documents concern primarily establishment. Yeah, okay. Upon resignation 72, subject left no forwarding address. CCS files contain no information on the remaining individuals listed in reference request. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Gunnar Beckman. What a name, dude. Retired. Okay, in Belgium. Anton James. Oh, a bunch of names. Okay, so I wonder if these are the names they're asking about in that last one. This phone number. Calls ass up. Let's see. Do not know if interviewed. Goldsmith. Let's see. Not interviewed and requested something. Called Beckham, who will call Goldsmith collect. He's gonna call him collect. You work for the government. You can call him collect, you fuckers. Let's see. No way to confirm that he, I don't know, Joseph Bulick resigned. William V. Bro interviewed at home. William Bright, what's it? Is it currently what? Currently employed. Christ, aren't they calling up Christ? I guess Dan Carswell's Christ. Interviewed under alias Cornwell and Hardaway. What name sounds familiar? What are you talking about? David, whatever. Pseudo. Let's see. William Donnelly. Are you talking about Christ? Christ is a very familiar name. Oh, so this guy's in Bangkok. James Delaney. Let's go in. Let's see. Goldsmith, HFCA called, and she suggested Blanche. Okay. Well, I guess just they did probably hire females in the office space. So yeah, that's possible. There was a female involved in all this stuff. It doesn't mean everybody's an outside agent that is on these lists. Because there's a Betty right there. The person was interviewed. They were interviewed in 1978. So what were they interviewed for? Bunch of telephone numbers. North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All right. Let's see. Jerome Fox. This is Berta Marine, project manager. Oh, okay. He's got a legit job, it looks like. This is man Wilcott identified as having told him Oswald was an agent. We spoke to him in Florida. Okay. Let's see. So Richard Helms, I've seen that before. Let's see. Chancellor Ito, Howard Hunt. That's a freaking pretty common name, Howard Hunt. That sounds familiar. Thomas Keenan. Let's see. Thomas Karamessines. William Kent, interviewed 22nd of August, 78, alias Douglas Gupton. Rodham Kinner. Okay. Keith Robert. Grayson Lynch. Sounds like a country music name. Frank Levy. Retired contract. George. I think we saw that in one of the other pages. Kiss of Valtier. Elwood Martin. Let's see. Currently employed. Herbert and Barbara Manel. Peggy Maggard. John McComb. California. Tom Matsui. Tokyo. Still employed by Tokyo. Hope Mason, interviewed in 78. Newton, New Mexico. Raymond McPhee, who's that name again? Tokyo, 1960 to 63. Priscilla Johnson, interviewed, exec session, own attorney, informant. George Frederick Monroe, David Murphy, Dan Whisker, Howard Orr? Yeah, Orr? Must be Orr. Interviewed in 78. God, why in 78, man? McConnell, Donald Poole, Florida, research section, SR6, don't know what that means, doesn't mean shit to me. Joseph Piccolo, 78, David Phillips, does stuff. Jack Randall, didn't say anything. Frederick Randall, interviewed, 78. It's all March and April, 78, looks like. Liz Bucket, Raymond Roca. There's Raymond Roca. Seen that name a few times. Jacques Richardson, residing in Paris, known to HSCA. I can't remember what HSCA was anymore. Let's see, Escalante Reed, under care for, under nurses care for, I don't know what that is. Saki Kiyoshi, Leo Rosenbaum. That name sounds familiar, but that sounds like a mob name. That sounds like something from a movie. Let's see, Dennis Ronis, Century 21, property manager. Okay. Interviewed August 78, Robert Sawicki. I wonder if we're going to have any of these interviews. Like, are we going to get a list of these interviews, or are we just going to get this? It tells, yeah, trust us, bro. Trust us, we interviewed him. Let's see, Sasha Sogolo, Richard Snyder, brief employment. Harold Sivenson, Director of Corporate Security. I don't know what that says. All right. Some security of something. Interviewed in DC in August for 5 hours. Holy shit, they grilled this guy. Corporate security. Looks like Cesarborough Ponds Inc. Cesarborough and Ponds or something like that. Yeah. I mean, shit to me. Let's see. No answer. Person didn't answer the phone. Hugh Tova, current employed, deposed. Raymond Swinder, interviewed in March of 78. Yeah, all 78. George von Bretzel, interviewed in 78, April. Guy Vitale, called on August 78. Pseudo Hugh Justin, 56. Vance Mina. Let's see, no, doesn't tell me nothing. Robert Wheeler, interviewed April 78. It's all going down March and April 78, and 1 August so far. Let's see. Doris Watanabe, David Wilstead, retired in Mexico. Let's see. Interviewed in Washington, Jack Whitten, Alan White, Yamada. Let's see. Yeah, nothing there. James and Louise Woods, interviewed March 78. All right. Yeah, there ain't much here. Yeah, that's it. That is it for that. Let's see if the next one's short because, man, I want to get off this thing. All right, 5 pages. We'll do one more. It's because honestly, we haven't found shit yet. This has been just a minutia thing so far. Bob Baker, Susan Watkins. Let's see remarks. Huh. Let's see any of those names? No. Russell Brines, Claudio Bent, Mary Ellen Scott, Gladys Bendy. Let's see, resigned. Possible. Jose Manuel Berenguer, whatever. Walter Biggs, Enoch Waters, possible. Leonard Desmond, possible. Howard Howe, Sang Chow, active, currently in New York. Edward Howe, Sang Lee, Russell Brines, possible. Fred Zusi, possible. Peter Nauer, Francisco Chen. Okay, March 78. Transmittal slip. I don't really want to try reading that. Howard Orr, Leo Rosenbaum, Hope Mason, Royal Tyler, Rudolph Sancombe. Okay, so yeah, you got retired. So these are agents. Looks like. Let's see, some Woods and Wife. Yeah, this is this stuff. Just written out, not typed out. Okay, so this must be the written out part of when they interviewed these people. So it looks like. Let's see. This is what I worked out with Susan Watkins. She will review the subject files, and she will also call Tom Crane. Something in contract personnel. Routing record sheet. It's not 201 form. No. Let's see. Per our telecom yesterday, I am returning the list of names you provided me for checking. I am only concerned about the protection of Howard Howe Sang Chow. He is a current asset of the FR base New York. I would appreciate I appreciate it if, in the course of sanitizing any of the other names listed on the attached routing slip, you would delete Howard's as well. Many thanks. So, did you do that? Because there was one that was crossed out. Oh no, because he said Howard, so that's that Howard Singh guy. Of course, number 2 here's gone, so that might be him. So maybe they did do their job. Howard Howe Sang Chow, yeah, he's on there. There was one that was crossed out though. Whatever. Not that important. Not that important. Howard Sang Chow. All right. Oh, and that's the end of that. All right. Well, I think that's it for today, man. I think I'm good. This has been very, very non-productive. Extremely non-productive. So I think I'm going to get out of here. So have a good day with that. Yeah, pretty useless information on this page.